All right. Part two. So, okay. Okay. So, um, our senses connect the outside world to us. So we have two types of senses. Our general senses, which is touch, pressure, uh, temperature, pain receptors, okay, and special senses. Special senses are all located in the head, okay. So our hearing and equilibrium, our vision, our smell receptors, taste receptors, okay. So there's five special senses: hearing, equilibrium, vision, taste, smell. Smell. Okay. Okay. So I want to make sure you understand the difference between sensation and perception. A sensation is the raw input from the peripheral nervous system that arrives at the central nervous system. Okay. A perception is the brain's interpretation of that sensation. Sometimes there isn't anything. Like if a fly lands on your skin, sometimes there's a sensation, but not perception. You still don't perceive it. It's because it's there. Okay. Okay. We have special sensory receptors. Okay. And special sensory receptor cells. Okay. Sensory receptor proteins are able to convert energy from a stimulus into a receptor potential. Okay. So, okay. Okay. So usually what happens is a receptor causes the action potential. But if you constantly stimulate the receptor, sometimes the adaptation will go away. And the best way to explain that is a lot of you guys are wearing watches and rings and stuff like that, and you guys don't realize you're watches, don't realize you're wearing watches and rings anymore because the perception of that has gone away. Because it's under constant stimulation. You take it off and you put it back on, then you'll feel it again. Okay. 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 Our sense of touch comes from mechanoreceptors. Mechano, okay, is any change in mechanics, movement, pressure, touch, okay. Thermoreceptors detect changes in temperature. Pain receptors detect damage in the tissue, okay. Okay. So the senses are actually perceived in the nervous system. Okay. You like the receptors only send information to your brain. Your brain interprets it and sends it back. Okay. Okay. But if you take anesthetics, you take a local anesthetic, it prevents the signal from reaching your brain. So your brain never realizes anything there. Okay. Okay, chemoreceptors are changes in chemicals. Okay, and taste and smell receptors are actually the same thing. Okay, olfaction or sense of smell begins in the nose. Okay, the olfactory receptor senses, odorants, the taste receptors, because taste buds, okay, either way, they end in the brain, okay. Other organisms, not humans, okay, humans do not have pheromones, okay. Pheromones are chemical substances that can elicit specific responses in other members of the same species. Okay, so they can track members of other species. That's what usually they're for. But humans do not have that. Okay. Okay. Vision depends on light sensitive cells. Okay, so how we see actually is to take light, okay, and we project it onto the retina. Okay, we have specialized cells in the eye that sense and also the brain, which okay. The photoreceptor cells in the retina detect light. Okay, there's two types. They're called rods and cones. Rods detect black and white vision. Cones detect colored vision. Okay, rods are a great deal more sensitive than cones. Okay, but rods only work in black and white. Okay. Okay. Okay, hearing begins with the ears. So hearing, okay, are vibrations through the ear. Okay, they're funneled through the auditory canal to our eardrum. The eardrum vibrates, okay, which vibrates these three little bones, the malleus, incus, and stapes, or hammer and Phillips stirrup, and then they vibrate the cochlea. Okay, and that is the cochlea right there. Okay. Okay. Okay, so the cochlea, so this is the cochlea. The cochlea has little vibrations. Okay, these vibrations, when you hear things, your hair cells will vibrate, and your hair cells will trigger the auditory nerve, and that allows you to hear. Okay. Okay. So sensations. So we don't just really hear and see and touch and feel. We do everything all at once. Okay. So we sum up the entire experience and we hear it and feel it together. Okay. Like not only are you hearing the music, you're feeling the bass, the temperature of the room, the lights, everything plays a role in the experience, right? So, okay. Okay, that's it for this chapter. I will see you guys in person.